Hello there, my name is Renelda Peldunas-Harter and I'm a member of the Mason-Dixon Quilt Professional Network. Today I'm going to talk about mini quilts, specifically Mini-Bargello quilts because that's what I have the most experience with. So what are mini quilts? Are they just large quilts, shrunk small? Well, you decide. Let me describe to you how I make mini quilts and then we'll talk about it. I use the Bargello technique, like I said, to demonstrate my mini quilts. And here's one. This is not, ladies and gentlemen, a pot holder. This is a mini quilt. Hangs on the wall in one of those small spaces that you can't hang a large quilt. Regular Bargello uses 2.5-inch strips, about 8 or 10 this way, that are cut up and then replaced so they create a nice pattern or some sort of pattern. I like to say the old classic Bargellos look like the Golden Gate Bridge because they seem to sweep up, and then down. This is how they start, with long strips of repeating colors, usually, like I said, 8 to 10. With mini Bargellos, you get 1-inch or 1.5-inch strips. These are 1-inch strips. These are 1.5-inch strips. And you use 10 to 14 because of the size. You can use more or less. It really doesn't matter. The big problem with Bargello is migration. Now, I'm not talking about the geese that are out in the backyard that refuse to go to Canada in the summertime or Florida in the wintertime. Migration, when you're talking about Bargello, is kind of how it waves, because not only do you have all these strips sewn together, but then you cut them and sew them back, and they tend to start migrating. A good way to mitigate the migration, I say that 3 times fast, good way to mitigate the migration is to use some sort of foundation or backing to sew the strips on. Now, when Bargello first revitalized in the 1990s, one of the popular things that everybody was told about was to use flannel for the background. Let me tell you, this is the one product that does not work. Flannel is notorious for shifting and migrating itself. So if you use flannel, flannel is great because it does have lines going both ways. It's great, I guess, if you starch the knickers out of it. This is not good. So I've tried it. And actually, like Thomas Edison, who said, I've learned 200 ways not to make a light bulb before he found one. For Bargello migration, I know many ways not to do it. The one ways that I do teach to do it is when you hire me to come in and teach the class. I'll give you all the tricks, all the clues that you need. This piece has been in a national magazine, and all it is 4 little mini Bargellos, mini jellos like this, that I've sewn together in a pattern. This is great use for scraps. This is a scrap buster. Mini Bargello, like mini quilts, are great to use up all your scraps. Again, this is the same thing, 4 mini Bargello quilts just arranged in a square. They're stash busters. They're easy to do when you know the shortcuts, and they're lots of fun to do. So please visit the Mason-Dixon Quilt Professional Network website, masondixonquiltpros.net. Find out what other teachers we have on staff in our organization who would love to come out and either talk about quilting, applique, judging, long arming, or many, many other things. So have a good day and keep quilting.
Good job.